yeah, I think that the whole of cycling, if that merger does happen, I'm not too sure, but if it does happen, but it comes down to, we've talked about this a lot, that we're not attracting new sponsors. Some new sponsors, but then other people are coming in and realise they're maybe not getting the return in their investment. I believe that the Bolton team, you know, that's kind of about, what, 9 months into a 2-year contract. It's just deciding it's too expensive. It's not a huge budget team. You know, even the team of Burgos, I met the owner of the team a couple of years ago, telling me he was riding the Vuelta. I said, what's your budget? And he said, €2 million. That's it. And that's not a lot. You have to pay the riders minimum, and it's the same with Bolton Equities. They don't have a huge budget. It's close to round about that, around about kind of a couple of million. So I'll be surprised if it's even more. I was involved with a merger with the NetApp Endura, and that was a hard thing to, you know, who I was taking from Endura into kind of NetApp, and you know, those negotiations of riders and staff and things like that. So it's not an easy thing. I don't think cycling, you know, everybody's talking about, oh, it's going to be great, you know, Jumbo and Soudal and all this sort of stuff, but I think it's an absolute nightmare and not good for cycling.
45 kilometers to go. We have that breakaway of 4 riders with 2 national champions. The national champion from Mongolia, Sainbayar, and the man from Japan, Yamamoto. We have Ilias Periklis, the man from Greece, and Logan Curry from New Zealand. At the front, we have the sprinter teams, of course, Astana racing for Gleb Syriza, Tudor Pro Cycling racing for Arvid de Klein. Both have 2 stage wins. The other stage winners were Babor and George Jackson when it came to sprinting, and of course yesterday Simon Carr. So 5 distinct stage winners so far. This group seems to be working well together, with the big man from Greece here in last position. Quite a colourful team kit they have there for the Ling Ning team. And Sainbayar, yeah, he was the only one left of the original breakaway of 3. He's the man at the front. He's the best placed rider as well, 17th on GC. Sadly for him, he lost a considerable amount of time yesterday in our Queen stage to the Genting Highlands. Last year, he was 9th and in the GC in a field that was stacked with World Tour teams and great riders as well. And this year, yeah, he's struggling a little bit more. Yeah, we were discussing the potential merger between Jumbo-Visma and Soudal Quick.
You engage with a whole huge community, right, from all over the world, and people, I think cycling fans are loyal. If you're sponsoring in cycling, you're more inclined to, if you go up and you go into a supermarket, go into a shop or anything like that, and you go into a high street. I know high streets are, you know, are not so good here in Britain. You go into a shopping mall, if there's all these mobile phone shops and there's one shop that sponsors a cycling team, you're more likely to go into that shop. It's just the psyche of the cycling fan, and I've seen this happen so many times that even myself, I'm involved, even my energy company, even you know, mobile phone in the past, it was because they were involved with cycling. So sponsors come in for about 4 years, 4 years, and then they move to another sport for 4 years, and what they're trying to do is attract a different audience.
I was like, when I was 18, and 18 is of course the perfect age for banks to draw you in, because once you open an account when you're 18,
you're
probably
bank, aren't you?
Exactly. Because you probably have your mortgage there and your insurances and etc. races, which, like you said, Brian, it fits exactly in the story you just told us. Getting junior teams to the European continent, because, yeah, truth be told, that is where still most of the racing is happening at the highest level, is very expensive, but also very good for the riders. He was part of that junior team traveling to Europe. He's a former junior time trial champion of Japan and won medals in the time trial, but never a time trial title, sadly for him. There were always second places, always silver medals there in the time trial championships. He does have a national road title, as you can see, because he wears the national champions jersey. but another silver medal in the time trial. But Yamamoto won the national title this year by a very long solo, taking 1.5 minutes on the runner-up. So he's kind of used to this kind of effort. So let's see how far it brings him. I do not really put all my confidence in our GPS, to be quite honest here.
No, it's another thing we're going. Is it another thing we're going to moan about? I've come to this part of the world in the 90s, and
I'm not moaning. It's a fact.
Towards the end of my career, and it's nice to see kind of fans out outside the road. I was kind of used to, seeing people at the side of the road, kind of looking, what's happening here? What's happening? But yeah, it's, with the fact that we've got, a Wang riding a track. He is a big star in this part of the world, and bit of a kind of showboat stuff that he does, and I think he's been great for cycling here. And it's always a race that you come to that there's always a lot of hidden talent in the Tour of Langkawi that we don't. I don't cover that many of the Asia Tour races. I know that they've got some big races in this part of the world. Qinghai Lake still going strong. There's a lot of
Lake,
decent races, and there's a lot of teams come here because it's important for them. And I think for the globalising cycling, these races are important. But it's some of them are in a kind of short window. But as we've just been talking about, it's not easy for them to kind of break into.
At the front, of course, working for Enrico Zanontiello. A very active race so far for the Bardiani team. It would be nice if they were to be rewarded. In our final, Brian, in the final 500 meters, we got another lovely big turn. We don't do straight sprints here in Malaysia. The run-in, completely straight, final kilometre, huge corner.
Yeah, but it's a sweeper. It's only a fork left instead of a turn left. So it's a big sweeper, so I think it'll be fast into there. I'm expecting the return of Decline, Syriza and Waymas.
From his teammates. No lead-out rider whatsoever.
Just put him in position and let him do his thing. And I think that's why he's inconsistent. We saw it last year as well when he won, and then the other stages he was just getting boxed out of it, just making mistakes, left, right and centre, leading out. The other day there when Caruel won, with their man Babor, he was just into that final corner too late. I don't think it's crucial 500 metres to go, but you have to have good position. So it seems as if Astana just put him in position and let him do his thing without any lead out whatsoever, as you say.
I mentioned we got another race later today from Belgium, but also we got actually 4 races on today. We got Langkawi, the Crow race with Pippa and Carlton, Franco-Belge with Brian and myself, and then also the Coppa Agostini, the first of the Italian.
It's going to be, as ever, really contested sprint here, and it is going to be about position. Not crucial, because that sweeper, that kind of left-hand fork is with 500 metres to go.
Yeah, we are inside the final 5 kilometres. The last 2 remaining riders of the breakaway were swept up with Yamamoto and Logan Curry. And, well, it looks like Curry is already in position there in that train of 6 for Bolton Equities Black Spoke. They're here with Bailey O'Donnell, Matt Bostock, Josh Burnett, Logan Curry, Luke Majway, and stage winner George Jackson, the man with mullet. Yeah, there is Logan. He's getting to the front again. Well, fantastic day on a bike there for Logan Curry. But we see also Koratek, Selitalia getting to the front. Viviani, not great so far when it comes to his sprinting, but who knows, he gets it right today. But yeah, the big 2 names will be Arvid de Klein and Gleb Syriza. Although George Jackson, of course, he won 4 races in 10 days, in the last 10 days, 3 in the Taihu Lake and 1 here. He will be brimming with confidence now. Yeah,
just watch out for the boys, the Human Powered Health, kind of orangey, kind of purpley jerseys. They're just, sitting with intent near the front. They have got Sasha Waymas in their ranks, and Sasha has been sprinting well. I think he was a little bit disappointed a couple of days ago because he thought he was second and got third, and and that mattered to him. He is getting closer and closer, so you know, I think they're a little bit desperate for the win, and I think if Weymouth wants to win, I think the team have to kind of lead them well, instead of kind of trying to follow others.
Yeah, Gijs van Hoeken, of course, being the absolute perfect person to do that. 2 days ago, Weymouth said that he kind of lost the wheel there of Gijs van Hoeken. But maybe today they get it right. It would be great for him, Weymouth. He had a little bit of a rotten season with illness and really having to start from scratch with a virus that took him out for quite a considerable amount this season. So yeah, ending this season on a high, especially since he's on the lookout for a contract, because the future of Human Power Health is also in dire straits. A little bit of drone footage here on the outskirts of Malacca. 500,000, almost 500,000 inhabitants here. And look at this fantastic job by Luke Muchway. Great position on the bike. Of course, a lot of the Kiwis have a background in track cycling, and this is absolutely a joy to behold. Then it's Pronsky in the white jersey for Astana, and on his wheel, yeah, might be Syriza. Might be a little bit early, but I'm trying to look for indicators on the side of the road where we are actually at in terms of kilometers to go. It is indeed Syriza already. Then we have the train with George Jackson and Tudor a little bit further back at the moment. Way further back.
Yeah, a good bit further back, but you know, still 3 to go. It's a straight. You want to kind of contain your effort, keep your team together, and come up kind of rather late. You don't want to burn too many teammates. Just look at Syriza at the front here. He's looking around. He wants help. He's got Pronsky, the only rider. Yeah. He's got the climber helping him. Yeah. He's too far to. I think he's just kind of panicking a little bit. You can ride this in 2 ways. Keep well out of trouble at the front, but he might get swamped as we see the accelerations coming.
Yeah, for a team like Tudor, it's absolutely no problem to leave it a little bit later. The road is so incredibly wide here that we can have all the sprint trains lined up. We also have Caja Rural. Don't forget that they also had a sprint win here with Daniel Babor, the man with moustache. That would have given them a lot of confidence. And he's already on the wheel right here of his Czech teammate, Thomas Barta. And it looks like Eduard Paredes there in first place. So Caja Rural doing really well. Final 2 kilometers coming up right now. The finish coverage is a little bit to decide of, but well, let's see what happens if we can have it. We have that left-hand sweeper bend, as Brian calls it, at about 500 meters to go. But it still means that you have to be at the front, because after that, the peloton will be completely elongated.
Yeah, this is a huge effort for Caja Rural. They came up, they sat back, and they came up with speed. You know, you just have 2 riders in front. The rider at the front is absolutely burying himself. I would say that you want to kind of be hitting the front when you get to 2 kilometers to go. So this is a huge effort. Now he's got 1 rider in front of him. I think still a long way to go to the finish, and it's probably a little bit too early. But at the same time, he's there. He's in good position. He doesn't have to kind of push and shove. I don't think Babor's lead out. I think they've gone too early, and I think now that you know, as you get to the kind of 1 kilometer to go, that's when you want to kind of come to the front.
I wonder if we just passed that sign and we didn't see it because it was turned the opposite way. No, this is the final kilometer. Here we have it, the Flamme Rouge. This is an absolute monumental job by Tomasz Barta, if he manages to pull it off. But it is going to be difficult. Thank God it's not raining, because these little cobbled brick, whatever you want to call it, will be slippery as hell if it was raining. But look at that long line here. We have Tudor now moving up with most of their riders. Syriza is on the wheel of Arvid de Klein. That's all that I can make of this image. But Tudor look to be in absolutely prime position right now for another stage win. It looks like 3 of their riders now. 1 rider, yeah, Michael Zeilaert here at the front with Arvid de Klein. Sascha Weymouth there with Gijs van Hoeken still in front of him. But what speed there by Arvid de Klein. What can Sascha Weymouth still do? Syriza is way back, and now it's up to Sascha Weymouth to get past Arvid de Klein. He has got the speed, Sascha Weymouth. Sascha Weymouth has got the speed. Is it de Klein? Is it Weymouth? It looks to be Arvid de Klein. He is the one celebrating, and the rider always knows best. But that was a good lead out by Gijs van Hoeken for Weymouth. But that was a very, very tight sprint won by Arvid de Klein. Again, the winner of the opening stage does it again on day 6.
Yeah, that was almost perfect there from Tudor Pro Cycling. Allowed Caja Rural. I don't think they could do anything about it, of course, but it was just a little bit too early, kind of left Babor pretty much on his own. And when you come back, you're trying to kind of fight to get in that line, and he got himself, I think, in 5th place round that sweeper in the end. My only question is, I think Hees van Hoek should have allowed the Weemas onto the wheel of Arvid de Klein, because that's another kind of bike length you have to try and make up, and it made a difference in the end. Very close from Weemas, but second in the end. But Arvid de Klein, strong sprints, his second stage win of this race, and making sure. But then again, as you say, it's safer at the front. The only thing you have to kind of worry about is getting in the line. Tudor start to come. You can see them moving in the right hand side in the black, but now as Caruel lead out man swings over, Babur, who's going to let him in? Nobody. Bounce, 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 trying to get in. 500 metres score, round the corner, and then the lead out commences. Zeilard, prime place, as he starts to go now. So there are 2 riders round that final corner. Perfect lead out, you have to say, from for de Klein. But Van Hoek, I think if Weemas was on the wheel, he'd have stood a better chance of trying to win. He realises that. Weemas just starts to go now, just as the de Klein opens up. Syriza is coming from a long, long way behind. He comes up with speed, but yet again, out of position. Close, but de Klein gets that one.
Close, but no cigar.
Well, I wasn't going to promote that.
No, smoking is bad. Bad.
What I will promote, though, if, you know, as this finishes, I've just been